Good evening. Welcome to the 15th Putnam Valley Commencement Exercise. Please remain standing for the Star-Spangled Banner sung by our 2018 mixed choir members under the direction of Dr. Gerard Macera.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave, home of the brave.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Board of Education members, Dr. Wills, fellow administrators, esteemed faculty, staff, parents, and our class of 2018. You can all be seated. We are all just excited for this moment. But before we get started, I want to show our gratitude for Mrs. Albano, if she could please stand, your wonderful advisor who made many of your high school events very special. We also want to recognize Mr. and Mrs. Hirsch. You will forever be on our hearts. Please let's give them a huge round of applause for their years of dedication and service to the community. We have a beautiful and well-maintained high school. The floors are spotless, the windows sparkle, and as we look around today, we have a spectacular, well-maintained grounds and picture-perfect setup for tonight. This is due to the hard work of our very caring facilities department. Over the past few years, our facilities department has been overseen by a man who loves this high school more than anyone. He had a vision for the children of Putnam Valley to finish their school experiences in Putnam Valley. Recently, the faculty watched a video that described the story of how this wonderful high school came to be. And while we are grateful to all the families who worked so hard for this building and for the children of Putnam Valley, tonight we would like to recognize Mr. Patrick Bellino for spearheading the efforts to get this high school built and for his commitment and dedication to keeping it top-notch institution in every way. So as we have done with other administrators who retire, would Mr. Bellino please come forward for his honorary PVHS diploma? You finally graduated. 18 years ago, two things dear and precious were born to us, things that we have seen shine and grow and blossom into maturity. These two things are with us today. The parents and this community had a dream 18 years ago that is coming to fruition today. Born 18 years ago were this majestic high school and this class of 2018, and I am very grateful to both. Let me begin my accolades to this class with an astounding statistic, 0.106. That number represents the daily number of discipline referrals for your class over 4 years. Let me translate what that number really means. It means you were good. In fact, you were very, very, very good. And I, as your principal, want to thank you for that. You were good citizens, and that is something to be extremely proud of. You performed many acts of leadership that helped to make this school a great place to be. This year, we watched Nick mediate a dispute with underclassmen in the lunchroom. We watched Tim bravely, with heroism, intervene in a serious situation. Over and over, this class stepped in, stepped up, and we loved being a witness to it. The number of daily discipline referrals was 0.106, but the number of times you shined and gave and cared, made us all proud, and smile is infinite. As Mrs. Soprano, one of your elementary teachers, said to me, "Do you know this class is special? Do you know this class is one of the best classes to ever come through Putnam Valley?" Indeed, I do know this class is special. As it was this class that made me feel very welcome at Putnam Valley High School. As Joey McQuinion reminded me during a recent student meeting this year, PVHS is a family. We spend more time here than at home. Yes, Joey, you are right, and it is this class, the class of 2018, that made this school feel like a family. As a class, you were givers, not takers. You gave in small ways every day, whether it was Justin, who never failed to flash his bright smile, or Dan, who made sure he never passed me without saying, "Hello, Miss Entreri." Your class built relationships with the adults around you. You helped your teachers whenever necessary. I think Aaron has helped no less than or done a dozen videos for teachers, while Jasper has never missed a time to work on the lighting for a packed performance. Mike helped us get peer mediation off the ground, and having Caitlin in guidance was like having an additional guidance counselor. Each of you is always ready to be of service to those who need you. Whether it was the lacrosse girls playing with heart for the championship or the baseball team reaching the semis, every team you played on was an example of the dedication and commitment you have shown throughout your 4 years. You gave it your best every time you went out on that field, and for that, we are appreciative. Your creative talents gave us a glimpse at who you might become, as you gave us all inspiration through your dance, music, theater, and art. How could I ever forget Maddie's graceful ballet performance, or Lauren coming in on her summer vacation to teach me the basics of ukulele? And Sabrina, your tiger painting that hangs in the lounge has now become iconic and a symbol for our school. You have all left a legacy of kindness, a legacy of warmth, and a legacy of giving. Thankfully, we have fond memories of your brilliant performances in band, chorus, and theater works, and we have rousing testimonials from your BOCES teachers and principals who've praised your work in architectural design, electricity, fashion design, and physical therapy. As you move on from PVHS, remember that to have a life well lived is not about material success, the latest iPhone, or even about having the best selfie with the principal. It's about the quality of your relationships and how you treat others. In fact, a recent Time article reinforced that the ability to give to others brings the greatest personal fulfillment. If that's the case, and based on my observations over the last 3 years, I feel confident that this class will have a very happy and fulfilling life just by being the wonderful people you are already. And that's the key message tonight. Thank you for being you. And please always continue to be authentic, helpful, warm, and sunny people, because doesn't the world need more of the people who are kind and giving like you? Upstanders like yourselves who are while compassionate and are also tough, serious, and willing to sacrifice for the greater good. So as you leave Putnam Valley High School, please know that your kindness, your generosity of spirit mattered. And while, yes, there will be a new 9th grade class entering the high school who will sit in your classroom chairs and fill your spots in the music rooms and athletic fields, there will never be another class like yours. As Winston Churchill said, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Class of 2018, thank you for giving to us. We were so glad you were here. Congratulations to an amazing group. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Wills, Superintendent of Schools.
Good evening on a lovely evening where we can see the splendor of nature and how fortunate we are to be in Putnam Valley. Good evening, parents, friends, graduates. First, I have to say that I haven't heard a graduation speech as heartfelt and warm as Miss Intrieri's speech. She knows you, and that is a wonderful thing, that a principal truly knows you. So I'd like a hand for a remarkable principal. What does it mean to graduate from high school today in Putnam Valley? For each one of you, the meaning is quite different and personal and depends upon your life experiences and how and if you have discovered your purpose in the journey you are on. Our lives now seem to be impacted by what others think and say about us in very public ways and spaces. Because words may be careless and painful, even hateful and cruel, this time and place requires a strong sense of self and confidence to make choices that are healthy and bring happiness. For most of you with strong and loving family life, the way to the future may be clear and well-defined. You can look forward to building good relationships wherever you go. You have a protective and loving tribe that will see you through the inevitable hard times, and you'll go to them for support, affirmation, and inspiration. You are comfortable with that man in the mirror that Michael Jackson sang about. Some of you may not even know who Michael Jackson is. Can that be? No, sure you do. Some of your classmates are less sure and will have more of a struggle navigating the next step. There is a headwind for some that may well contain negative language on social media that is hurtful, and without a strong support system, the words create great and lasting pain. We count on our support system to keep us hopeful and optimistic. However, as you move further from your family and your Putnam Valley community, there is much to learn and experience that can lead to immeasurable happiness when you are willing to participate and engage with others who are not exactly like you, who may come from a different tribe, but one that has something new to teach you. Nelson Mandela's famous quote that regales the halls of the Putnam Valley Middle School remains consistently true. Education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. Mandela knew that power because he spent 27 years in prison hammering at rocks for standing up to apartheid. He spent all the time he could reading, studying, and learning. Indeed, the world we are empowered to change is both inside and outside of us. We have the power to transform ourselves and make changes in our emotional responses and relationships. This change depends upon our willingness to open ourselves to others and our environment. That opportunity to change awaits us every day, wherever we are, in college, career, or service. So how can we become more open to new experience? First, we have to work to create a positive frame of reference and be present in the moment. Scrolling on our cell phone hinders our direct communication and connection with others and the world around us. Those direct connections come from looking in the eyes of those we are with and then talking and listening to them in the present. Eckhart Tolle, a modern philosopher, has written much about the way we lose touch with the present and therefore lose opportunities for happiness and success. Here are some of his thoughts that I have found helpful. Don't wait to be successful at some future point. Have a successful relationship with the present moment and be fully present in whatever you are doing. That is success. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. The power for creating a better future is contained in the present moment. You create a good future by creating a good present. Boredom, anger, sadness, or fear are not yours. They're not personal. They are conditions of the human mind. They come and go. Nothing that comes and goes is you. Once we realize that our emotions of the moment are not permanent, we can free ourselves from hopelessness. We're ready for the next breath and the next experience. Tala provides much to think about as you leave the close-knit comfort of your family and friends here in Putnam Valley. Comfort is a wonderful thing, like the feeling of sleeping in your own bed or making coffee the same way every morning. Comfort, however, in itself does not lead to learning and success. It is actually discomfort, challenge, and even failure and loss that leads to learning and success. If we fear and avoid a challenge, we may never know real feelings of accomplishment and the power of achievement. Psychologist Martin Seligman has researched a 5-pillar template, PERMA, that helps us understand how to achieve authentic happiness. See whether this works for you. Focus on positive emotion. Engage with people, thought, activity. Build and nurture relationships. Seek meaning. Celebrate accomplishments. Celebrate today. These 5 pillars are achievable through our own determination and by practice. We are graced with free will and the ability to make choices. Every outcome of each choice leads to new learning and our ability to find authentic happiness in the moment. I am confident that every one of our graduates, using the tools of knowledge and support they developed at Putnam Valley High School, has the resources to create that happiness. In fact, the real knowledge we have comes from mistakes we make, the meaning that emerges from our reflections on those mistakes, the gifts we give to others, as Ms. Intrieri mentioned, and the blessings of gratitude. Sebastian Younger, the author of Tribe on Homecoming and Belonging, an analysis of the painful journey of returning home from war, tells a story about something that happened to him when he was just out of college on a trip he made out west. He was hitchhiking in Wyoming. There were miles of highway, and there were very few cars. He was well provisioned and had a tent and food. But pickup trucks that passed threw beer bottles at him. He was very much alone. In the distance, he saw a man who looked wild, unkempt, and dirty. His initial response was fear. The man asked him how much food he had. The author lied, fearful that the man might steal his provisions. The man offered him his sandwich. He had been out looking for work, and this was his lunch. The author took the sandwich. He later felt ashamed, embarrassed, and guilty. He had made a judgment about the man, had lied, had taken the man's food. What he learned from this encounter was that the man had taken responsibility for him. Not only was he generous, but he treated him like family, like the family of humanity, a member of his tribe. This experience shaped the author's future and his realization that what we share is a need for purpose, for being necessary. Whatever path you choose, find a way to be necessary to someone else, to be of use. There is much happiness in giving and in kindness. There are opportunities to be kind every day. We need only look around us. Congratulations to this remarkable class.
I'd now like to introduce Mrs. Janine Rufo, President of the Board of Education.
Good evening. It is an honor and a privilege for me to represent the Board of Education and speak to the incredible young men and women that sit before me today. I am fortunate enough to have a personal connection to several of the graduates tonight, so I am going to take the liberty to speak for all of the family and friends represented here. We love these students. We wish them the best that life has to offer. Our fervent hope is that as family, as educators, as friends, and as neighbors, we have given to them the values, the character, and the skills they need to continue to grow into the amazing human beings that are being created right in front of us. We hope that everything we have provided for them or shared with them will be enough so that they can find happiness and fulfillment throughout their lives. I think I can say with confidence that based on what I have seen watching this class and what we have heard in the 2 previous speeches, we have done our jobs well. But I don't think we can take the credit. There's a lot of talk in the world of education and psychology that young adults today are not being prepared to cope with challenges or deal with life stressors. We talk about there being a lack of resiliency or dependency on adults to be successful. I believe that this class defies those descriptions. I have seen tremendous resiliency, determination, and above all, heart in all that they do. For example, how many times have we seen final lacrosse goals scored with 0.7 seconds left to play, whether the score was tie or if they were down 10 points? Or last-minute injuries that prevent an athlete from competing but never let him lose heart or motivation? Or a return of the Mr. Valley competition, the ultimate example of putting yourself out there? Or incredible competition in science research met with confidence, competence, and mastery by the relative newcomers but oh so passionate students from Putnam Valley? Or the coping with personal losses or challenges met with grace and incredible optimism? You see, this class, you guys know something that the rest of us have to learn. I recently watched a TED Talk by Sean Anker about what he called the happiness advantage. He believes the 3 factors that predict both happiness and success in adults are optimism level, social support, and an ability to see stress as opportunities and not obstacles. I don't need to watch a TED Talk to learn that. I could have just come to the Mr. Valley competition, where Justin, yes, Mr. Valley himself, said that he tries to influence others because of his positivity. That same night, some of the other contestants had the following quotes. The words of wisdom were coming so fast that I couldn't type them fast enough or remember who said what. But some of the things said that night was, it doesn't make any sense to try to fit in. Labels limit people. Be who you are and be happy, and that is what worked. Another quote from that night was, you should look at each challenge as a chance to reinvent yourself, to find a new you. Still another, success means being comfortable with what you are doing. Why watch a TED Talk when our own seniors have these outlooks and these perspectives? And this class doesn't just talk the talk. If you want to see social support in action, which is one of those 3 predictors of happiness, follow any member of this class around for a couple of hours. They have built an incredible social network and connections among each other that you can see they rely on strongly in both positive, happy circumstances and under stressful ones as well. The mock trial team, science research students, Theater Works members, band and chorus members, soccer, lacrosse, basketball, or any other athletic team, they were not just classmates with a common task. They created a community for themselves, which helped to motivate and encourage each other in both success and happiness. There is an old African proverb that states, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. This class has demonstrated how true that is. What I think you have all learned is that our external world does not predict our happiness. It is not the job you have, the school you got into, or the money you learn that results in happiness. Happiness comes from the lens through which your brain views the world. How you interpret your circumstances has far more an effect on on how you feel than what those circumstances actually are. So I'm going to give you homework. I'm going to present you with a challenge. Sometime over the next few months, I want you to select a 21-day period. It could be the next 21 days as you deal with the bittersweet transition of your high school days coming to a close. Or it could be 21 days in September as you begin your next chapter in your life. But whichever 21 days you choose, I encourage you to record or take note of 3 things that you have to be grateful for every day. This is not just a touchy-feely millennial activity. This is a scientific process as you can actually train your brain to scan for the positives in your life. It is as important to practice positivity, just as you have shown that it is important to practice academics, the arts, athletics, or any skill that you want to achieve mastery in. The Temperamentals have often sung a song where the lyrics were, "They have not seen the best of us yet." We, your Putnam Valley family, know that this is true of the class of 2018. As you move from this night forward, know that the community that you have built will always be there for you. We are unspeakably proud of you. As your family, we thank you for all the joy that you have given us, and we ask that you take pride in how far you've come, have faith in how far you'll go, but never, ever forget to enjoy the journey. Thank you and congratulations.
We will now have our special musical offering, Omnia Soul, by the 2018 Mixed Choir members.
Somewhere far from nowhere, I grew both strong and tall, longing to become, but knowing not the path at all. But the footprints of the winter melted to fields of spring. One last embrace before I cross the threshold.
I would now like to welcome our first student speaker, Olivia Schmidt.
Change is all around us. The trees have uncovered their buds almost before our eyes. The sun has put away her cloudy shrouds in favor of blue satin skirts. We have lost winter with the blush of summer. And the days of long school nights and heavy workloads and toiling minds are finally behind us. High school is over, and we are all going our separate ways. This is unavoidable, even though we are equal parts relieved and reluctant. We will all be so much better for it in the end. A seed is a starting point. It is poor, obscure, plain, and little, a temporary vessel for everything it is yet to attain. It won't be a seed forever. The seed itself must disappear so it can become something superior, whether flower or tree or winding vine. It can never be a seed again, but that's the point. We can never go back to being seeds. Our days of high school in Putnam Valley are over, and we can never reclaim them. Our incomplete adolescent selves can never be what they once were, clad in braces and insecurities, and that's wonderful. We worked hard to get to this point, but now we finally have a chance to grow, to become who we were meant to. We have to leave behind our small seed selves to sprout, but we shouldn't forget either. We should hold our memories dear, because they are a foundation of who we are. We are able to flourish because we've built such a strong basis for our future. We have been planted in a rich community, and even though we need to leave that soil behind and reach above to the heavens, we still have our roots here. So if we are to advance ever forward, looking bravely on the future, we must remember where we've been sown, but we must push ever upwards and bloom in our own way, becoming our best selves. Jane Austen says, "I must go, uncertain of my fate, as we must as well, but we will be moving on towards something glorious, a better self than we have yet known as seed."
I'd now like to welcome up Meredith Conlon and Aaron Peterson, our co-class officers, for their speeches.
Oh no. Hello. First off, we were having so much fun, we didn't really have a chance to take any pictures. So me and Meredith would like to take one with everyone. Okay. Okay. Well, the day is finally here, graduation, the crazy day where we all leave each other and never come back, but I'm sure we will. For those of you who aren't part of our grade or watched our grade grow up over the years, we all have a special connection with one another. We're a family. We stick together, we fight together, and we share our love. Now, I know that sounds cliche and corny, but for us it's true. Most of us have been together since preschool, and those who joined along the way have helped mold the heart that unites us all together. A heart is what I like to think of as the powerhouse of the body. Because it never rests, it rarely gives up, and sometimes it beats so loud that others can hear it. We are the heart of this school. I haven't gone a day without seeing at least one person in our grade working hard, sticking up for someone, or just making people laugh. This is who we are. We're smart, caring, loving, and comical individuals who want to make the most out of everything. Since freshman year, we've been active participants in school activities. Not only did we participate, but we made history in everything we put our hearts towards. Ninth grade being the first freshman class to win color war decorations. In 10th grade, not much really happened, but in 11th grade, we were the first junior class to win the Powder Puff football game. And of course, senior year, we placed first in the food pantry donations, won decorations for Color Wars, won countless events during Color Wars, earned the trophy for Color War champions, and won the Powder Puff football game for the second year in a row. I realize that none of this is new news to all of you, but I want you to remember all the amazing things we accomplished together. Through teamwork and love, we not only made history in all 4 years here at Putnam Valley High School, but we've learned to never give up. I think the faculty in this school have really helped us understand that even if a specific outcome is expected, we have the power to change it. We believe in the impossible and we fight the inevitable. This is the outlook you should carry with you when you leave here tonight. When we all leave to start our lives as the adults we've dreamed of becoming since we were 5 years old. When we each year wish to grow up faster, but now that the time has come, we want it to slow down. I hope that when you all start your next chapter, wherever it may be, that you remember the child inside you that knew how to see the unimaginable, and that you never stop making history.
So I'm sure many of you know that I like history, and maybe love is a better word. So I want to say thank you for allowing me to be part of such a historic grade. Now, I know that we're not making world history, but we did make our mark here on Putnam Valley, and that's historic nonetheless. We have an amazing group of incredible individuals, and I'm so proud that we are known to have shown kindness and compassion throughout our years at Putnam Valley. We were always there for each other, helping classmates and friends through tough times, and I know that we will carry that spirit in our future. I'm incredibly lucky to have grown up with each and every one of you. We have helped shape each other into these amazing adults that we are today. But we're leaving each other now, going into the real world beyond the safeness of Putnam Valley, some going to college, some the armed forces, and some the workforce. This next step in your life is going to be so amazing for you. So I encourage you to make new friends, try new things, and just have an open mind. If you have the opportunity to spend time away or just do something different, do it. Everyone always says that these are the best years of our lives, so let's make it that way. If you're afraid of leaving home and some of the people behind, don't be. They're going to be here when you get back, welcoming you with open arms. I'm really so proud to have known you guys and to have been part of a grade that left such a positive impact in this school. Congratulations and good luck in whatever you do in your future, and never forget that no matter where you go, to be kind.
And let me just remind you, we are also grateful you won Color Wars, because the juniors, remember, gave you a little run for your money for the first 5 competitions there. And I don't know if you noticed the teachers starting to line up across the gym floor, worried that the juniors might come down and start confrontation with you. So we were overjoyed that the seniors pulled together and won Color Wars. I'd now like to welcome Joseph Abate, salutatorian.
Pages. Okay, before I start, I'd like to thank a couple people. I'd like to thank my parents and the support. I'd like to thank my friends for everything they've done, and most importantly, I'd like to thank our amazing teachers and staff at Putnam Valley High School. You've supported us in every way humanly possible, and I can't thank you enough for that. Everyone has a plan. We all have an idea for our future, some more clear than others. Today I want to talk not about making plans for the future, but being open to the fact that life is complicated, and it might feel like those complications are getting in the way in the path that we've laid out for ourselves. Each and every one of you will go through something that will change the way you decide to live your life, and that may disrupt some of your plans, but that isn't such a bad thing. It's important to realize that each new experience, good or bad, can be learned from, and just because you miss one opportunity doesn't mean a new one hasn't arisen in its wake. Our vision for the future is so rarely an accurate representation of what ends up happening, because there's so much more involved than what we could plan for. And even when we get what we wish for, it's often not exactly how we wished it to happen. I want you all to take a second and go back to the very beginning of freshman year. I'm sure a lot of you had a grand plan for what you'd become, or at least somewhat of an idea. I'd like you to raise your hand if you had a plan like that. Anyone? Couple people? All right, can work with that. I'd like you to put your hands down, and keep them up for now, if that plan didn't go true, didn't happen. All right, we have one hand. Now none. All right, my point being, we turned out okay. We made it here at the very least, and it's just the beginning. Maybe today you want to be a doctor or a scientist, or maybe you want to move to LA and live in Hollywood, and maybe you'll end up doing all those things. But maybe you won't. Maybe life will throw a wrench in your plans and you'll be thrust into a position entirely foreign to you, one which you had zero intentions of ever being involved in. But maybe this new position will bring valuable opportunities, experiences, and relationships you never thought possible. For the past 12 years, most of us have been told what to do, what to think, what to learn. Sure, we've gotten our tastes of freedom. Some of us got a car, some of us didn't. A job, a curfew, later than 9, hopefully. But for the most part, we've lived a relatively managed life. Our choices have been limited. But soon today will be over. We'll go on our way, many to college, some straight into the workforce, the armed forces, some of who will explore the world. We'll experience a level of freedom that is entirely new to us, and in new circumstances, it's not uncommon to get overwhelmed. Our life has been planned to an extent that not many of us realize, and when it becomes our time to start planning our futures for real, it won't be as easy as it looks. It's important to plan, to have some sort of idea. To lay out a well-defined path for oneself is integral to the success, and I'm not trying to take anything away from that. To quote one of the most overquoted people in history, Benjamin Franklin once said, "If you fail to plan, you plan to fail." What I'd like to add to that is that it's important to keep a level head when your plan begins to fail, or new events shed light on a different plan that may be better suited to you. I think Wentworth Miller explains this perfectly. Make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan. I've never been a great planner, so maybe a lot of this is just coming from my inability to think more than a couple hours into the future, but there's one thing I've learned, it's that the unexpected may not be what you asked for, but it may be the best gift you ever receive. When I received my letter of admission from the college I will now be attended, I expected one of two things, to be accepted or denied. I had planned my next year around going to that school or another one. Unexpectedly, however, neither of those two options occurred. I was accepted under the terms that I go abroad to a different college across the globe for my very first semester. And as you can maybe imagine, all of my expectations, plans, and intentions exploded. Freaked out. And I had no idea what to do. I had to take a step back and reevaluate everything I had thought was concrete about college. What it took me a while to realize is that this dilemma I was stuck with was really an amazing opportunity. I was given the support to travel the world, and because it's not something I've ever heard of, I initially took it as an unfortunate circumstance. What I can now see it for is a foundation to make some great memories and some closer friends who are in the same position as me. I'll learn a thing or two about any country that isn't America, and when it's all over, I'll be all the better for it. I didn't expect this, and I didn't want this, but I'm happy it's what I got. We plan and we dream because at that specific point in time, we have an idea of what we want, and we lay out a series of steps in order to achieve whatever that is. If you don't do that, chances are you'll never get it. We're not beholden to fate. We control our own destiny, and it's up to us and nobody else to get what we want out of life. But I want everyone out there to understand that what we want now may not be the same thing in 5 years, and what our life goals are now may not be what's best suited for us in the future. So just be open to new possibilities. Don't shut out new opportunities because they're not 100% in line with your plan. By being open to new adventures and experiences, you might learn something about yourself that could change everything. It's not every day that we get to celebrate our accomplishments for 4 long years of sleep deprivation, stress, and occasionally hard work. This was no easy task, and I couldn't be more proud of us. Wherever you go after this, whatever you do, just remember that things won't always end up the way you expect them to. And that might be what makes them so great. I wish everyone the best with your futures, wherever it decides to take you.
And I'd now like to welcome our 2018 valedictorian, Paige Lee.
Good evening, my fellow classmates, parents, friends, and faculty. It is an honor for me to be able to address all of you tonight. When I first tried to write this speech, I had a bunch of different topics floating around in my head, and I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to talk about. But after doing some reflecting, I found that I wanted to talk about how important it is to find what you're most passionate about and how you can use that to help others, which is actually something that a lot of you have done throughout high school. A number of you have volunteered your time and talents to help your community, and that's something that you should absolutely continue throughout your life. The most important lesson that I learned from high school was to focus on what is most important to you, whether that be playing sports or spending time with friends or playing music. Make sure that that interest never gets shrouded by life's daily monotony. I know this sounds cliche, but I feel that participating in activities that are meaningful to you is not always everyone's primary agenda because other tasks or to-dos can get in the way. High school students are often pressured to shoot for the job that will make them the most money or give them the most power, and not the job that's in a field that they're interested in. You can be very successful in a job that you enjoy, but as you go out into the world, make sure that your passion guides you in your decisions. Your future is in your hands, but whatever you decide to do, please make sure that your decision is authentic and not the future that someone else set out for you. Choosing to work or study in a field that is meaningful to you doesn't mean that you're giving up on the challenge that a more competitive job or school may give you. Pursuing your passions is one of the most challenging endeavors you can undertake because it's scary. It's not a safe option. You're going to have to work hard to achieve your goals, and it won't be easy. The world that we are entering is a harsh one, and we won't be celebrated for our achievements like we were in high school. The things that you have been commended for in school will simply be expected of you in your future endeavors, and much of your hard work may go unnoticed by bosses or colleagues. Too often in graduation speeches, graduates are told how they're going to change the world one day, and there are so many open doors for them. I don't want to do that because that's not how the world works. You all have the potential to make change in the world, but I'd like you to first start with small victories. I'm not telling you to give up on your craziest dreams because honestly, the only way to achieve greatness is to set goals for greatness. But instead of trying to change the whole world at first, try to make change in your own community. Think about a person who has had a huge impact on your life. They're most likely not a world-renowned teacher or coach, but they've positively changed your life in some way. You don't need to have titles or awards or widespread recognition to make a difference. To the rest of the world, they're just a coach or a teacher in a high school in New York. But to you, they're a role model, someone that you look up to, and someone that you'll remember for the rest of your life. The teachers and coaches that have had the greatest impact on my 4 years here have done so because they truly care about each of the people that they work with and take pride in what they do. Maybe for you, they helped you understand a tricky topic in school or motivated you to work harder. Rather than aim to solve all the world's problems, I think that we should try to make change in the world that's around us. Start within your own community and go up from there. Your actions and the kindness that you show people will carry on to others, and that's how you make change on a global scale. We all have the power to create change in the world, but don't be discouraged if it doesn't come right away. For our final project in my economics class this year, we had to interview 3 adults about their life and experience that they learned through college and after entering the workforce. One of the people that I interviewed was my dad, and he said that one of the most important lessons that he's learned was that life isn't about finding yourself, but rather losing yourself in something that you're passionate about. I'm sure that you've been told many times that life is about finding yourself. And personally, I believe that discovering your identity is one of the most important moments of your life. But it's not going to take you a long time to find yourself. Some of you may already have a crystal clear idea of who you are, and some of you may not, but chances are that you will soon after today. Who you are is going to change many times throughout your lifetime, but you'll be aware of it. Gandhi once said, "The best way to find yourself is by losing yourself in service to others." In college, or in the military, or in the workforce, or wherever your life will take you next year, make it a point to explore and get involved with what is most meaningful to you and use it to help others. You owe it to yourself to spend time on work that has purpose to you, so don't waste your energy on busy work or filler. Make it your life's mission to get so caught up in what you care about and use it to make the world around you a better place. We are a class of athletes, actors, scientists, musicians, writers, and all-around creative people. So use your talents to help others. Congratulations to all of you. I wish you all the best.
And now for the awarding of the diplomas. So would Mrs. Albano and Mrs. Alexis Thornton please come forward?
Row 1, please stand. Joseph Abate. Eric Alfaro. Abigail Alvarez. Travis Anderson. Shane Back. Haley Bagnato. Madeline Barty. Chloe Berger. Michaela Bertuzzi. Giordano Bravo Rodriguez. Row 2, please stand. Marissa Brown. Arbon Brukai. Michael Bruno. Mark Burkhard. Christopher Cabreja. Danielle Capodici. Emily Casey. Meredith Conlin. Jacob Cooperman. Ben Diadana. Row 3, please stand. Ricky Davoli. Jeremy DiCanio. Madeline Deegan. Dylan Delaney. Alexis Delgado. Joseph Delabate. Jessica Denike. Wayne DeRosa. Lauren DeRubis. Ethan DeToma. Row 4, please stand. Trevor Earl. Kenneth Eckenberg. Arthur Eagle. Ava Espinera. Nicholas Ferraro. Julianne Frey. Michael Gaitan. Kevin Gallo. Camilla Garces. Jason Garofalo. Gabrielle Getzai. Sabrina Gierman. Brittany Gona. Justin Gonzalez. Jared Gusky. Jillian Hansen. Jennifer Hernandez. Timothy Hollick. Craig Horan. Jennifer Hertz. Row 6, please stand. Alec Irving. Brandon Isavec. David Kahn. Elena Carabinos. Jasper Katzman. Haley Kelly. Larry Kennedy. Christopher Kinley. Vikram Kumar. Paige Lee. Please be seated. Row 1. Hey, next row, stand, please. Sorry. Haley Lewis. Christian Lopez Ramos. Joseph McQuinian. Leaf Mangan. Sophia Marcano. Daniel Martinez. Isabel Morrow. Catherine Maza. Brian McBride. Sean McCahey.
Would row 1 please stand? Sean McNamara. Kay Merrill. Angelo Milano. Bridget Marias. Gentina Marina. Janilla Marina. Rebecca Mosney. Michael Munson. Kelsey Murphy. Mackenzie R. Nichols. Would row 2 please stand? Michael J. Nolan. Megan O'Leary. Luis Odavalo. Junghyun Park. Lauren Pateman. Aaron Peterson. Joanna Pelk. Teresa Pellegrino. Elsie Polanco. Nicole Panarski. Would row 3 please stand? Ayana Powers. Andrew E. Quinones. Michael Raymundi. Nyasia Reeves. Kevin Reyes. Nicholas A. Reardon. Amelia Rippon. Amanda Rodriguez. Pedro Rubio. Adam A. Rukai. Would row 4 please stand? Matthew Ryan. Timothy Sains. Kyle Sams. Kayla Sanchez. Caitlin Santiago. Alexandra G. Santora. Chase Sauter. Olivia Schmidt. Erica Seidman. Elizabeth Selka. Would row 5 please stand? Christian Shala. Cosette Shields. Caitlin T. Sigmund. Alex Simon. Kelly Simon. Matthew Simpson. Taylor Simpson. Daniel Tarrant. Kiana Thompson. Angeli Tamias. Would row 6 please stand? Maria Tamias. Sydney Tucker. Lauren Turner. Connor Van Riper. Victoria Van Curran. Caitlin Vasquez. Yolmeri Vega Alvarez. Joshua S. Velasco. William Venezia. Rudy Viveros. Would row 7 please stand? Chelsea Vote. Walter George Wakehazer. Jason White. Morgan Winogradoff. Gregory Yovane. Corinne Zastinchik. And Carlos Zinin.
This is the fun part now. You guys ready? By the power vested in me by the Putnam Valley Board of Education and the Commissioner of the New York State Education Department, I now pronounce you graduates of the Putnam Valley High School class of 2018. You can throw your hats. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations.